Starbucks was in New York this week doing their biannual investor conference and revealed a couple interesting things. We learned last week, Beth, that Howard Schultz is going to be stepping down.
Right, big news.
But this week, they rolled out some pretty aggressive and ambitious growth plans. We're talking about EPS 15 to 20% in the near term and then higher after that. So what do you make of this?
Yeah, I think for Starbucks, this is a real sign that they think they can keep the growth going. And to do it, they're going to have to open more stores, which in the past they've suffered from that. Get big into new parts of the day. So we're seeing soups launch, get better at breakfast.
They've had trouble with food, though.
To be honest, yeah. I mean, the breakfast's still iffy. So I think they might be able to do it, but they're really going to have to change the game plan a little bit here.
Brian, another one of their big plans to do this is to start this new sub-brand. I call it sub, but it's actually a higher-end brand, the Reserve, where coffee's $10, and this is a big new push. What do you make of it?
And that's Howard Schultz's pet project, right? He's going to stay on with the company. He says, he's turning it over to the new guy, who, by the way, has been there for 7 years, but, he's going to make all the decisions. This is going to be his project. I don't know. I don't know how much potential that has. I mean, they're starting off, the new CEO, Kevin Johnson, with some really ambitious goals. 12,000 stores. I think 5,000 of those are supposed to be in China. And they've been kind of struggling a little bit in the last year or so. The last 4 quarters, I think they've missed their sales targets in the U.S. So they're not giving them the low bar to jump over. And, maybe high end is a growth area. I'm a little skeptical that it's a big growth area.
Yeah.
Well, I read that apparently the core Starbucks is perceived by millennials as their parents' coffee company. It just made me feel really old. I really love Starbucks, and I'm not ashamed to say it. There's this whole thing you have to sort of say, oh, I don't like Starbucks coffee. I mean, I do like it, but is this a millennial thing, Beth?
I think that they do risk becoming too ubiquitous if they're not already. I think millennials do want things that are different, that are special.
The unknown.
Exactly, and Starbucks, I mean, is there anything that's more normal than Starbucks? Not that that's a bad thing, but millennials don't necessarily think that way.
Right, that's true. And Brian, what do you think? They're also going to get into pizza. What do you think about that? Sort of goes with what Beth was talking about.
They're going to have to prove to me that they can make a good pizza. I'm not going to be the first adopter of Starbucks pizza.